On Tuesday, May 17th, 2022, Etsy announced that descriptions will now play a role in search ranking on the platform. In this video, I'll be covering everything that we know so far and what you need to do in order to prepare. For those who are new here, my name is Starla 𝔸𝕚𝕝, founder of the Handmade Alpha Academy for Etsy sellers and manager at eRank.com, Etsy's most popular SEO tool. And even though I am a manager at Etsy's most popular SEO company, we were completely blindsided by this update, just like you probably were. But that night, me and my team at eRank sat down in a meeting where we ran a few tests and tried to figure out exactly how much impact our descriptions actually have in ranking. Today, I'll be sharing those findings with you. Plus, I'll be sharing a bit of personal speculation, keeping in mind that Etsy hasn't told anything to anyone aside from the short community update that they posted. So if you see any of the Etsy gurus claiming to know exactly what's going on, keep your guard up. No one knows more than what Etsy has told us already, not even the eRank team. And also keep in mind that I actually covered this topic on Friday during our weekly episode of The Friday Bean, but I figured I would do a short video as well for those who either don't have time to watch the full hour-and-a-half long Friday Bean episode, or for those of you who just need a quick refresher. But before we dive into the full details of this Etsy update, I want to take a moment to give a quick shout out to this week's featured shop. Thanks so much for your love and support. If you'd like to submit for your own shout out, tag Handmade Alphas in a photo or screenshot of yourself watching this video, either in your Instagram feed or Instagram stories. In case you missed the update from Etsy, I'll have the official post from their community manager linked down below this video. But in short, Etsy has stated that they will now consider keywords used in product descriptions in order to rank products in search. They've also stated that our most important keywords should be as close to the front of our descriptions as possible. Lastly, Etsy has also told us that we should sprinkle these keywords into natural and descriptive sentences, rather than keywords stuffing our descriptions. This should ring some major bells for sellers who have been on the platform for over 7 years, because at one time, we all used to paste our titles right into the tops of our descriptions. Ah, good times. When crafting your Etsy descriptions, we still need to remember the primary purpose of an item's description: to describe the thing. We need to describe the thing to the shopper so that they can make an informed purchase. So, most important keywords at the top and no keyword stuffing. That's what we know so far from Etsy. That's it. Anyone who says that they know more than that at this time simply does not. However, I think it's also important to share a bit of the research that we've been doing on our end. Once again, everything that you're going to see today is speculative, and personalization may also play a slight part in these results. But even with personalization in place, the more relevant to a search query that a listing is, the more likely it should be that a listing shows up for that search, especially in cases where there is no competition. Let's head over to my computer where I can show you what I mean. I'm currently in our test shop where we run a lot of our SEO experiments. For the most part, the items that you see are all very branded, as they focus specifically on our personal brand, the Handmade Alphas and the Friday Bean. So let's grab one of our listings. We'll do our white Friday Bean coffee mug. And in theory, if we were to search for the Friday Bean Symbols white ceramic coffee mug, this listing should pop up in our search, because I doubt anyone else will be exact matching that phrase. So we will copy it. Now let's pop over to another tab and test out these words from our title. So we will paste it in, click search, and as predicted, we are right up front. That's because Etsy is matching the keywords from our title with the search that we have just performed. They're likely also recommending these other listings based on a few common keywords that our query shares with their tags and titles. So how does this work for our descriptions? In theory, if I were to add a few very specific words from our description into our search query, we would still show up in search, even without those words being in our title. Let's try it out. We'll go back to our listing and we will grab the phrase "require this morning." We'll copy it. And in this test, we'll be experimenting to see if Etsy weighs all words from our description with the same weight that they hold over tags and titles. So we'll perform the same initial search, but we will add the phrase "require this morning" to the end. Let's try it. And bam, we have confused Etsy. Even though we have some of our exact keywords from our title in our search query, adding the few irrelevant words from our descriptions threw off the entire search. So what does this tell us? Well, a few things. First, it tells us that Etsy is not weighing all words from our descriptions in search. This means that you won't be showing up for totally unrelated searches based on irrelevant words that you've placed in your descriptions. Secondly, it means that Etsy is looking for keywords that are already relevant to the keywords you've placed in your titles within your descriptions. For example, if I were to add the phrase dishwasher and microwave safe, which is located both in my description and up in my title, our listing would still appear in search. Etsy has identified that we are using these words in our title, therefore they might also be recognizing them in our description as well, thus prioritizing our listing in search. So what does this mean for you as the seller? First off, it likely means that there is an order of significance when it comes to how Etsy weighs our keywords when ranking products. Based on our testing, it appears that titles are still top priority for Etsy, followed by tags. Attributes and categories are likely the next most important factor, placing descriptions at the very bottom of the algorithmic totem pole. In short, we don't know the extent of this algorithmic change yet. Etsy's algorithms get smarter over time, so there may be more changes to come as it grows from its infancy. But for now, it seems that descriptions aren't a factor that will make or break you in search. If you're experiencing a stall in sales right now, even if you were making sales over the last few years, don't be too quick to point fingers at the algorithm. It's likely that you experienced the amazing benefits of the Etsy pandemic wave. Between 2019 and 2021, Etsy saw more shoppers on the platform than ever. But what goes up must come down, which means we are now resuming normal traffic patterns on Etsy. This means that for most industries, sales will slow down in the spring and summer, then pick back up for fall and winter. In the meantime, we recommend making changes to your descriptions slowly, especially since no one knows the true depths of this update. Start by adding a keyword-rich phrase from your title into that first sentence of one of your listings, and keep an eye on your stats over time. In fact, I highly recommend tracking your traffic stats using eRank's Track Changes tool, which you can learn how to do by watching this video up here. And if you need a little extra help on Etsy, or if you just need to turn your shop into a more sustainable income, my own Handmade Alpha Academy will be opening on June 14th for enrollment. HAA is my 9-module training program that teaches sellers how to build dominant brands on Etsy step by step. We have over 800 successful students, many of whom now run their Etsy businesses full-time. Not to mention, I personally buy each of my students a 12-month eRank Pro subscription so you can utilize the very best tools to grow your business. If this sounds like something that you may be interested in checking out for your own business, I've added a link down below and up here somewhere where you can learn more about the program, our success stories, and the class curriculum. Overall, success on Etsy means being proactive and adapting to change strategically rather than running from updates when they occur. With a little science, a lot of data, and some help from a trusted Etsy SEO expert, you'll be well on your way to Etsy success. Cue the funky lo-fi beat.